Hi, I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. Tonight's show, if you've been looking on our website, starborninstitute.org, you'd already know that the title is Moving Toward Higher Ground. And that is something, have you noticed, that the animals do. When there is any sense of danger or any kind of a natural disruption in any way, the animals always move to higher ground for safety. That might be something that you could be thinking of this week, because that way you would be safe no matter what else happened in your life. And so there may be some shifting around right now, and that would be a good idea, because actually you will have room to move or to make some sort of adjustments in the next week, because 8 out of the 10 planets are in only 7 consecutive signs. So they're really spread out right now. And that means if you don't want to come up against an obstacle or an angry person, I think you're going to have a little room to sort of move around them if you want to. And that could be a wise idea this week, because there is a Grand Trine in fire signs. And that means that Mars is in Leo. It is not well placed there, because Leo is a sunny, optimistic, and very well-humored sign, but with Mars there, that can stir up people's passions. And remember, Mars rules anger, revenge, jealousy, even war, and hate and greed. And in a fire sign like Leo, it simply means, since Leo rules gambling, that this is a very bad time to gamble on anything. And also it means that there can be people who are a little desperate right now because they feel their egos are on the line, and they could have rather large egos. That sign, that planet though, Mars in Leo, is trining another malefic planet, Uranus in Aries, the sign of new beginnings. And since Uranus rules sudden change, and it rules electronics and computers and space, and it rules genius and music and rebellion as well, it simply means that if somebody really wanted to take a gamble right now, they could ignite a war, and it could be a cyber war that they are igniting. So you might want to watch out for something like that. As well, those 2 planets are trining a 3rd planet in a fire sign today. It's the moon, which is in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a very high-minded sign. It rules religion and philosophy. It rules the international courts, and it rules all foreign countries as well. And it rules being broad-minded and wanting the best for everybody. And so with this Grand Trine in fire signs, there is a lot of support for somebody who might want to move very, very quickly. And there wouldn't be very much stopping them. In other words, if you wanted to feel very passionate about something, you could express yourself in one way or another with your passion this week. And also, if you were suddenly aroused, you could do something very impulsive, and you would succeed at doing that. But I think, for safety's sake, you might want to slow down and think about moving to higher ground instead, because what goes up must come down. And what happens after you do succeed very suddenly at something? What will be the consequence or the aftermath? You need to think about that first before you get going in a new direction. And the reason why is that there's an even stronger Grand Trine in the water signs. Jupiter in Cancer is trining Neptune in Pisces, and together those 2 planets are trining 2 more powerful planets. Venus has now come into Scorpio, and it is conjuncting Saturn in Scorpio as well. Because these 2 planets are conjuncting each other, it heightens the power of both planets. And that means with 4 planets in water signs, a lot of people may think about making a move. After all, Cancer does rule real estate and homes. Or they may want to make a dream come true. And the reason why they might be able to do that now is because with Venus, that planet of love, in the sign of Scorpio, which is a financial sign, conjunct Saturn, it simply means there can be some money that's been delayed for a very long time, which can be coming your way now, perhaps out of love, or perhaps because other family members and old friends are certainly quite willing to back you if you want to make a dream come true. And that might take you to higher ground. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. So there is a lot of emotional security and support and financial wherewithal right now. And so what that means with Venus and Saturn in Scorpio is that the money is on its way, or that expenses will be covered. It doesn't mean that you're going to strike a jackpot, but it does mean that your expenses can be covered in one way or another, perhaps through help from friends or family members, or that some money that has been withheld for a long time is on its way. And that can really help you out right now, which is good. You still have to remember, though, that there is a grand cross in cardinal signs. And what that means is that Jupiter in Cancer is squaring Mercury in Libra right now. And it's also squaring Uranus in Aries. And it's opposing Pluto in Capricorn. So what that means, since cardinal signs rule right and wrong, virtue and vice, is that other people have their own ideas about what is right or what is wrong, and they are not willing to compromise right now. So I think you just have to get used to the fact that not everyone is going to be in agreement with you. And rather than waste your time trying to convince everybody that you're right, why don't you just follow the strength of your convictions and go forward on your own anyway? That way, because there are so many planets spread out right now, you would have room to move. And hopefully you'll find a pathway that will take you and your loved ones to higher ground, to greater safety, to something that can really secure your future. And that's the direction I hope you go in. All right, what does this mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, for you, what that means is that I think since yours is a cardinal sign, it simply means that not everyone is going to agree with what you want to do, Aries. And so I don't think that's going to stop you. It might challenge you quite a bit. It doesn't mean that you're going to be 100% successful, but I don't see anything stopping you either, because Uranus in your sign is being trined by the moon in Sagittarius today, and also by the sun or by Mars in Leo. So either you are going to get a second chance to make some sort of new beginning, and you could push forward on it, because there can be somebody else in a very competitive mode right now that wants to hook up with you in one way or another in order to achieve some very quick result. And that's fine, Aries. It's just that not everyone is going to be in agreement with you doing that. And so you need to weigh the consequences of your actions right now, because you might be a little too far ahead of where you want to be. And after everything is done, after you've achieved your aim, there could be a fallout from that, and it could be an unpleasant fallout, and that's why you really need to reconsider and slow down a little bit if you can. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, this is a time when I think you're up against some pretty heavy hitters, and you're going to have to sort of watch out, and I do think you should move to higher ground if you can, Taurus. And the reason why is that Mars in Leo is squaring your sun sign. And remember, yours is a fixed sign, but so is Leo. And that simply means somebody with a very big ego that is desperate and wants to take a gamble is going to do it. So they're going to push pretty hard, and they might be pushing on you, Taurus. And so if you want to avoid that, you need to back off a little bit this week, because I don't think you can win in a fight. You can dig in. I'm not saying anybody can beat you, but you can wear yourself out in a fight right now. That's why I hope you don't get in one. And remember, I said that Venus and Saturn in Scorpio indicate that the money's on its way, but because both of those planets oppose your sun sign, Taurus, it simply means, since Venus is your ruler, that someone else is getting the money, not you. That could be a major disappointment, because I think you've been counting on some extra money. But it looks to me as if somebody else should have gotten some money before and didn't. So now it's their turn, Taurus, and you will have to step aside and sort of live with that disappointment as well. Luckily, the sun in Virgo is trining your sun, and so is Pluto in Capricorn. And Pluto is going to go direct this month, and that could favorably benefit you. And so you're not going to get everything your own way right now, Taurus. And if you dig in and you get real stubborn about something, you might injure your health, because Mars in Leo rules the heart and the back and the blood supply, and there could be a few people who could be very stressed out right now and subject to a heart attack, and you might be one of them, Taurus, and that's why you got to sort of back off if you can. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, it's very lucky for you that your ruler, Mercury, is in Libra today, and it is trining your sun. Well, Libra rules partnership, and it rules diplomacy and tact and compromise and negotiation. So there can be somebody around with some pretty good ideas about how to make peace in one way or another. Or else they could be very drawn to you, and they could be quite a desirable partner for you right now, Gemini. So even if you're taking on something in just a part-time way or a temporary way, you could be doing it with a rather attractive new partner, and that would be wonderful for you, Gemini. And that in itself could open up a better future for you. So I hope you keep your eyes open for somebody who's sort of wants to be peaceful right now, or may want to extend the olive branch to you, and I hope that you're graceful and do accept that, because there are a whole lot of other angry people around, and if you want to stay out of their way, then why don't you hook up with somebody who's got some nice ideas and who is a nice person anyway, and just try to be mellow with them this week and not get in the way of other people who are desperate and are willing to take dangerous gambles right now. That's not the way to move toward higher ground. And so if you hook up with a nice partner, or you are able to achieve some sort of peacemaking effort right now, that could be a feather in your cap, Gemini. All right, what does it mean to Cancer? Well, Cancer, this is the time when I don't think that you're going to get too many people agreeing with you, and that is because yours is a cardinal sign, and Uranus in Aries is squaring Jupiter in your sun sign, and Mercury in Libra is also squaring Jupiter in your sun sign, and Pluto is opposing your sun sign. So you could be upset by other people who have their own ideas and they're not in agreement with you, and in fact there could even be somebody who wants to rebel and break away quite suddenly right now, and that wouldn't make you happy. But you can laugh all the way to the bank, Cancer, and the reason why is that there are 4 planets in water signs right now. Jupiter in your sign is trining Venus in Scorpio. That makes you very popular, because that's a very popular, that's an aspect of popularity and fun. And it is also trining Saturn. So there is some money that has been held for a while that is on its way, and that's why you can laugh all the way to the bank, Cancer. Also, expenses will be covered. So you actually are not being threatened financially or emotionally in any way right now. And that's what's important to you anyway, Cancer. So if other people are not agreeing with you, don't waste your time trying to convince them you're right. Either accept the fact that everyone is entitled to their own opinion, or else just withdraw to the comfort of your friends and family, of whom there are many right now. Besides, you're very popular with them. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, this is a time when you sure can be revved up and all ready to go and want to be the boss. And that's wonderful, except for a little something else, Leo. And it's that your sign does rule leadership, but it also rules sports. It rules teamwork. And this is an important time for you to remember that you need the team right now, Leo. And it might be hard for you to remember that, or you might be a little impatient and you don't want to wait for other people to catch up to your wonderful ideas. You could just want to zoom ahead right now, and you would be successful at that. So what could be stopping you, Leo? Well, the fact of the consequences of your actions should be of major concern to you, Leo. And that is because not only is Saturn in Scorpio, a financial sign, squaring your sun, and it will stay that way for the next 2 years, but now Venus, the planet of love and partnership, is also squaring your sun where you have Mars. That means your relationships are not necessarily running real smoothly right now. And if you should decide to go ahead and zoom ahead and be very competitive and take a big gamble on something because your ego is on the line, it is going to cost you more than it could ever possibly be worth. And that is because Scorpio is a financial sign. And if you run up against, if you run ahead and do things all your own way right now without considering the team, Leo, then the money will withdraw. you will lose far more financially than you will gain from the prestige of succeeding in your action right now. So if I were you, I'd back off, Leo. Mars is not happy in your sign. It creates passion without any substance, and it could make you rush ahead so quickly that you could live to regret an action of yours for the rest of your life. And that's why I'm hoping you slow down a little bit, or at least work with a team and be a good team member. You don't always have to be the boss. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is a time when, with the sun in your sign, that you are the one that has all the answers, or that you're the one that has been thinking of a lot of different solutions right now. But is anybody asking you for your opinion, Virgo? I don't think so, but that isn't going to stop you from really working on things right now, because that is the way you operate. You're an excellent problem solver, and you like to pick a problem apart and really see what the base of the problem is and fix that first, or the root of the problem. So I think you should continue on your way doing that and being of assistance to others right now, Virgo, because you don't have too much longer to wait before somebody does come to you and ask what your opinion is, or ask you for the facts, and you're good at gathering facts. And that's because Pluto in Capricorn already trines your sun, but it will go direct in a few weeks. And when it does, someone will finally be armed with the truth and will be able to come to you and ask you questions, and you are going to have the right answers. It's going to do you a world of good to talk to the right people. So don't waste your breath on people that are arguing with each other right now, Virgo. Just very quietly move to higher ground if you need to, or else go ahead and keep problem solving and keep it to yourself for right now. Until the right person asks you questions, I would say don't waste your breath on anybody else. And so just keep working. You're doing a fine job. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, remember I said that Mercury is in your sign, and Mercury is the planet of the mind, and it tends to stimulate creative expression. And your sign is an artistic sign, so you could certainly want to communicate in a way that is very diplomatic and very charming right now, and you can do it, Libra. And that's good, because there are not a lot of people around right now that are thinking of ways to compromise. But that is something that you're actually wonderful at, as well as diplomacy and negotiation. So I think your negotiation skills are going to be in demand, Libra. And that you could probably carve out a new niche for yourself in your future if you can just peacefully get through these troubled times. And for the whole month of September, Mars in Leo will be squaring Saturn in Scorpio. And that means that there is always going to be a financial reason behind people's actions right now, whether they are actions that promote war and anger and jealousy or greed, or whether they are actions that somehow want to solve problems. And so I think that you are a person who is going to be in a very peace-loving mood right now, and that you can express yourself very well. And boy, you're going to have to do that, Libra, because I think that you are in a good spot to try to calm other people down. And it isn't that you are forcing anyone to see your point of view, but at least you could get other people to consider different points of view, and that would be a step in the right direction. Remember, I said with the planet so spread out, we are going to be able to move forward right now, but some matters will only move forward inch by inch, and you could be very instrumental in sort of getting the ball rolling. Good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, this is a time when I think that at last you are going to be able to be on very firm ground. And remember, I said now that Venus has come into your sign and is conjuncting Saturn there, and they're being trined by Neptune in Pisces and Jupiter in Cancer, that the money is on its way. It can be money that has been held perhaps by a family member for a long time, and for a just cause. In other words, I think since your sign does rule justice, Scorpio, that there is an element of justice connected to money that can be coming your way. Maybe you didn't get it when you should have. Maybe you didn't get it for the right, you haven't gotten something because the conditions haven't been right, but they are going to be. And pretty much from now or from October through the end of the year, you are really going to be in a much better position or shape than you have been at the start of the year, Scorpio. So something really bad is over in your life, and even though there may be a residue of it around right now, and even though there can be somebody with a very big ego who feels very threatened right now, as long as you step back and do not engage with them, they will go find some other victim. And I think that's a good idea, Scorpio, because with Venus in your sign, you're not in a war-making mood. You're in a peace-loving mood. And you can be thinking of ways to provide for yourself and your family members, and that's enough. So you're under very good aspects. You just have to watch out for some angry people and try to avoid them at all costs. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarius? Well, Sagittarius, the moon is in your sign today, and it is being beautifully trined by Uranus in Aries and by Mars in Leo. And so the moon is passive and sympathetic and rules our emotions. And so you can be in a position to be very supportive toward other people who are a little bit stirred up and want to make some fast action right now. But think twice about anything that you say right now, Sagittarius. And the reason why is that the sun in Virgo is squaring your sun. So no matter what you say, somebody is going to check the facts on that. They're going to check anything that you say. And if what you say does not jibe with the facts, then you're going to be putting yourself in an embarrassing position. That's why you need to slow down and be real careful what you say right now. And Neptune in Pisces is also squaring your sun, meaning that other people are not telling you everything, and you are a little bit subject to being baited by others right now. So think twice before you really jump into something, Sagittarius, and think twice about what the consequences would be, and be very careful that you're not saying anything that can't be proven accurately in order not to embarrass yourself. So this is a good time for you to move to higher ground and to do what is best for yourself and your loved ones. And other people who want to be on the warpath, I hope you just let them pass you by, Sagittarius. That is the safest thing for you to do. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, this is simply a time when I don't think that you are going to be on the same wavelength with everybody else, because yours is a cardinal sign and there is a grand cross in cardinal signs right now. But the sun in Virgo is trining your sun, Capricorn, so that by watching small details and paying attention to your health, that can certainly improve right now. So you can enjoy small successes, but I think at the same time you can be severely challenged by other people who refuse to agree with you. And for that reason, I think that you just better calm down a little bit, Capricorn, and bide your time, because Pluto, which is a major planet of truth, is going to go direct in your sign in just a few weeks, and then you will be in a much better position to act on the strength of your convictions. Right now, I think you just need to move to higher ground, and remember that a lot of people can see what's going on in the background of your life, because that moon is in Sagittarius right behind your sun. So be real careful right now if you can. And at all costs, I think you should be cautious, even more cautious than usual, because there are other people that are going haywire, and I don't think you want to be around them. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, I think that you're a little bit stuck, just like Taurus is, because yours is a fixed sign. And Mars in Leo is opposing your sun sign. So somebody else wants to have it all their own way. They could have a rather large ego. They could be feeling either very passionate, or they could be desperate right now. They may have taken a gamble, and if it hadn't paid off, they are really looking around for ways to solve their problems right now, and they could want to clash with you, Aquarius. So I don't think that you can get ahead with everybody right now, and I don't think you should try either, because somebody else has a lot of force and power behind them, and they would like to mow you over right now, Aquarius. So I would get out of their way if I were you. The timing is not right. Also, Venus and Saturn in Scorpio are squaring your sun. And that means that the money is around. It doesn't mean that it isn't there. It could still be delayed, but not for much longer. And so with Mercury in Libra trining your sun, I hope you pick up a very charming partner, or at least talk to people who are in the mood for peace right now, and avoid everyone else if you can, Aquarius. It is somewhat a time of danger for you. So you do need to move to higher ground where you can be safe. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, for you, I think this can be a little bit of a confusing time. And the reason why is that the sun is in Virgo, and it is opposing Neptune in your sign, and the moon is in Sagittarius, and it is squaring Neptune in your sign. When the sun and the moon square or oppose each other, it can indicate a time of indecision or confusion. So you could be a little bit confused about how to make all your dreams come true right now. And also, you may feel as if you don't quite have the power to make everyone agree on things right now, and you're absolutely right about that. But on the other hand, Pisces, Jupiter in Cancer is trining your sun. Venus and Saturn in Scorpio are also trining your sun, which means that the money is on its way, or that your expenses really will be covered. You don't have to worry about that, Pisces. And in fact, you can be very popular and much appreciated by people. So old family friends or old friends are certainly in your corner. And if you are content with that, then you can lead a happy life. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. I am very glad that we're back in our studio, and there have been some adjustments. And so I think that what we need to do right now is just sort of hang in there while we're getting used to all of the new things around here. And I hope that you realize you can see the show anytime you want on our website, starborninstitute.org. Bye.